I think that's awesome that you guys have a youth division for 17 under girls and boys. Like, that's huge because we're gonna get old. We were talking about it earlier. We're getting washed up here. We need people to eventually replace us.
We're gonna need a master's division.
Yes.
Welcome to the Warriorz Basketball podcast. I'm one of your hosts, named Cardinal, as always, here with my bro, Michael Swampy. Good to see you. Good to be back.
Good to be back. Good to be back. Exactly.
Yeah. Sorry, everyone, we missed last week. Mike was a little bit under the weather, so we took the week off, and now we're back stronger than ever. How you feeling?
Oh, I'm feeling good. Feeling 100%. Well, no, not 100%. I'm feeling about 85%. Today was the first day that I didn't have to use any cold meds, so that was nice.
It's good. 85%. I'll take it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was nice to have a little bit of a break though, but it's always good to be back.
Yeah. Just a little bit away from the grind.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Well, Mike and I are both really busy. Mike is a new dad, so he's got a family, but he's also a teacher, so he's got lots going on in his professional life as well.
Yeah, pretty much being a couch potato, watching a lot of playoff basketball as of late.
Nice.
Catching up on that, watching new Oilers. Go Oilers.
Yeah, go Oilers. I've been watching a lot of NHL playoffs. Kind of paying attention a little bit to NBA playoffs, not so much. More attention to NHL playoffs. Yeah, it's just it's kind of strange. Some of these GOAT players are on the verge of being kicked out of the playoffs in the first round.
Yeah, for the NBA, absolutely.
Yeah,
like, well, no Steph Curry, right? They lost in the playing game, so you not having Steph Curry, and then LeBron just on the verge of getting eliminated here tonight, Saturday night, and they just won their last game, so the series is 3-1 now for Denver. But yeah, Bronny's on the decline here. His age is catching up to him. Well, I should. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, I was really surprised the other night. I watched the post-game press conference, and he was saying they were asking him about his teammates being perfect. I don't exactly remember what the question was, but he was saying something. He was saying why am I worried about someone not being perfect? It's just basketball. It's just basketball at the end of the day, right? Mm-hmm. So I was surprised that he said it. I don't know if he was being sarcastic or anything, or
being a little facetious.
I can't say that word, so that's why I didn't say it. I'll leave it to you, but I can't say that word. So I don't know if that's what he was doing, or maybe that's how he feels now. He's
well, Bron's always been that's a golden boy for league publicity, just in terms of how he acts in front of the press, and he's never wants to be on the negative side of headlines. And the reason being is I think they would have asked him that question because of D'Angelo Russell's 0 for 7 performance in game 3 or whatever it was. And he wasn't a part of the huddle and that sort of thing. And yeah, I think the press is just trying to get LeBron to say, hey, what do you think about D'Angelo Russell not joining the huddle?
What kind of snacks did he have?
Yeah.
I found that really interesting. So, but I think you're totally right. And they were probably trying to just fish for something, get something from him.
It's funny because LeBron is the poster boy for, all positive things, and he's never in a negative headline, but there's this AI bot on Instagram that has LeBron predicting all the world events that are occurring, and it's freaking hilarious. He did not say this. That's the Instagram. It's so funny.
Yeah, you gotta look it up. Mike and I send reels of that account back and forth almost every day.
Yeah. One was I was in Spain chopping it up with my bro Christopher Columbus, and I was telling him man, you have to check out the West. There's a lot of potential out there.
Yeah.
So bad, so bad.
Yeah. Yeah, and there's one about Lord of the Rings. He was like, I was hanging out with Gandalf, and he told
Yeah.
me that he was on the lookout for a hobbit. And I told him he needs to go to the Shire. Frodo Baggins is the one he needs to look for. Yeah,
Frodo does all the work that
yeah,
doesn't quite necessarily end up on the highlight reel, but he gets the job
Yeah.
done.
yeah.
It was so good.
Oh, so good. Yeah, yeah. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see how things go moving forward. Kevin Durant and the Suns are on the verge of being swept as well, and not
Yeah,
going to be Suns in 4, but you know,
yeah, big game tomorrow.
yeah, like Anthony Edwards is a beast, just
Oh man.
unstoppable.
So I was saying, like, with LeBron's age, it's like LeBron being how old is he? Like 39 or something?
Yeah, he'll be 40 this year.
Yeah, and he's still performing well, but it's not necessarily his age, but there's these young NBA stars that are catching up to him, like Anthony Edwards. And Anthony Edwards is he's going to be unbelievable talent in this league. He's just cooking, talking trash to KD on the court, and he's unreal.
That was awesome. And yeah, KD's just smiling the whole time. That was him at one time.
Yeah, absolutely. When KD
Not
went
that-
at LeBron in 2013 or whatever it was.
Yeah, not that KD is any slouch. Like he can still play.
Oh my God. Can you imagine trying to D up a guy who's 6'10" and is able to just do a fadeaway jumper? Like, it's unbelievable.
Yeah, unreal skills. But yeah, so the last show, which was 2 weeks ago now. So I think it was like 2 weeks ago today, we did a live stream with our buddy Gord. That was fun.
Yeah, we drafted our Res NBA franchises. So if you haven't done so yet, go on YouTube and have a listen, have a watch. It's a fun time. I really enjoyed that one.
Yeah, that was probably one of my favorite episodes that we've done so far.
I was gonna say, dare I say one of our favorites? I think it was my favorite for sure.
Yeah, definitely. And it was just the whole thing was fun. It was easy flowing conversation, and it was fun to hear like each other's reasoning for the picks that you made.
I love Gord's Res dogs coming up with a dog for every game.
Yeah.
41 different dogs for every night. 81 different dogs for for the Reds dogs.
The Reds dogs.
And here you are just drafting, being the trillionaire you are, and hiring all your cousins to do the work and all your bros to do your designs.
Nepotism, gotta keep it real.
So we did put up a poll. We put up a poll to see who had the best NBA Res NBA franchise. A Naylor cleaned house here. Naylor took 50% of the vote. My own wife didn't even vote for my team. We had quite a few votes. Name, you got 32 votes. I had like 13% or something, and Gord had 50% of the votes. So thanks to all those people who voted. And what the hell, vote for the Spirits, Seattle Spirits.
Yeah, I didn't know that many people voted, because like every time I looked, I think that when I last looked, there was like 30 people. There was like 30 votes or something. But
did I say? Good. Sorry, I meant 30%.
Oh, 30%. Oh, okay. That's like, wow, 30 people.
30% could be like 2 people.
Yeah, could be. Yeah. Oh, that's too good. Yeah, we'll have to do something like that again in the future. And yeah, Gord's always welcome here.
Yeah, we'll get some more people on the pod. Maybe we can, I don't know, do a indigenous NBA team or something like that, like a starting lineup. But it was getting that first pick and getting Kyrie was, I think, key, because having Kyrie as a franchise player, like, You for sure are going to be getting a lot of votes your way. One thing I wish you and I argued with Naylor about, though. What do you think it is? Who was his face of the franchise, his wild card?
Oh, I don't even remember. Is that Adam Beach?
That would have been better.
Yeah.
It was Ice Cube.
Oh yeah.
we should have argued with him about that. A beat a medallion doesn't make him Indigenous. Come on.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I thought you had the home run pick though with Ernest Muniz.
Yeah, I thought so too.
Yeah, damn it.
He's definitely got some bangers. He's not just a one song, one hit wonder, in case anybody was wondering.
That's right. He's like LeBron. He's the LeBron.
Like the GOAT. All right,
Ernest LeBron Muniz.
That's right. That's what he should change his name to.
That's right.
Yeah. Should we move into our starting five?
Yes, absolutely.
All right, let's get into it.
Let's do this.
First on our starting five this week, this was sent in from Lyndon Sunshins, one of our bros. He sent in a shout out on our starting five for his daughter, Ella Sunshins. He says that she is in the lacrosse program in grade 9 at Vimy Ridge Academy in Edmonton. Her junior high team at Vimy won the Division I championship after they beat Riverbend in the close final. They also took home a trophy that is over 100 years old. Her community basketball team also won city championship, and they took second in the province this year after losing to the powerhouse of Raymond. So we talked about Raymond on a previous episode.
Mm-hmm.
They are a powerhouse when it comes
to
basketball. She is currently trying out for Team Alberta and made the top 25 U15 girls team. But I was sent in an update. She is in the top 15 now, so she's made it to that next step for U15 provincial team. So for Team Alberta as well, she's playing on 2 club teams, Good Hoops and Free Play. Her plans next year will be to play for the Western Basketball Prep Academy in Edmonton.
Holy smokes. That's crazy.
Yeah.
So
I think that might have been an exclusive announcement.
Yeah.
Podcast.
That's pretty cool. Top 15 in Alberta. Like
that's so good, Ella.
I think I remember Lyndon was telling me that she only just started playing basketball like not too long ago. And I think I remember him saying like how he wants to get her involved, and she's like getting some interest into it. And here she is, top 15. Like that's unbelievable.
Yeah, that's so good.
Awesome. Our second position on the starting five, the WNBA draft was just held April 15th, and Alyssa Pilley, who is Samoan and Inupiaq from Alaska, she was drafted 8th overall by the Minnesota Lynx. Alyssa was first team all Pac-12 player this season with the Utah Utes. She averaged 21.4 points per game, 6.6 rebounds per game, 2.4 assists per game, 0.9 steals, 0.8. That's not rebounds.
No, that's supposed to be blocks.
And 0.8 blocks per game. I was gonna say you didn't put her turnovers in there, did you?
No.
Yeah, Alyssa it's pretty cool. She attended the NBA or the WNBA draft. She actually, like, the clothing she was wearing was Indigenous inspired, and like a lot of the stuff that she's doing a great job of like representing her proud heritage and who she is as a person. And then even the Minnesota Lynx had like a special presentation for her when she went to the arena. They had like native dancers and like Samoan dancers and that sort of thing. And yeah, it's really cool. So the Lynx are backing her up on her platform and who she is as an individual, which is really cool. So shout out to the Lynx as well.
That's so deadly.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Our next shout out goes to Lindy Waters III, who is a Kiowa and Cherokee and a member of the Oklahoma City Blue, who just won the G League championship on April 15th. They won the best of 3 final series against the Maine Celtics in 3 games. So congratulations, Lindy. Come
Attaboy,
on the
Lindy.
pod.
Yeah,
Come
come
on
on
the
the pod,
pod.
please. Come on
I'd
the
love to have you.
pod, Lindy.
Yes.
We know you see our reels when we include you in them. We know it. Come on the pod.
Next on the starting five, I just want to give my daughter Amelia a birthday shout out. She just turned 8 on April 15th, and we want to wish her a happy belated birthday.
Happy birthday, Amelia. Our fifth and final spot goes out to our bro, Lyndon, who we just spoke about, whose birthday was on April 23rd. So happy birthday, Lyndon. Shout out.
Happy birthday. Yeah, and something I forgot to mention, Lyndon's name just reminded me of that. But earlier this week, I was in my crawl space. This has nothing to do with starting five, but I was in the crawl space under my house and looking for something else. But I started digging around and I found my old ENBA jacket from 2009. Yeah,
the spring thaw.
Spring thaw 2009.
Yeah, I saw
That's vintage.
You were rocking it at work the other day too.
Yeah, I was.
Retro day, throwback Thursday. Hey.
Yeah, beautiful coat. I'm so happy I found that because I couldn't remember where it was, and I just happened to be downstairs, and I was like digging around in some random boxes, and there it was.
When we first did our podcast, and I was asking you, like, do you have a logo or like a champion jacket? And you're like, yeah, I do. It's somewhere here. And then finally, episode 14, we got it.
Yeah.
Well,
10 episodes later. Yeah, and just so everyone knows, we did win the spring thaw in 2009. I have won something before.
Yeah. Okay, that leads us to our next discussion topic name.
Let's do it.
Our next discussion topic is all about a little bit more about who myself and Name are. We want to ask each other the question, who are the best basketball players you have ever played with or against?
Yeah. So when we first brought this topic forward, I had to tell Mike, you can't put my name down 5 times. Yeah. We just thought this might be something cool to talk about, like some of our own basketball experiences. Like Mike played 3 years in the ACAC against some really great basketball players. He's played in some really like strong Indigenous basketball tournaments. Like he's played with so many different players, and yeah, we just wanted to share a little bit about some of the guys we played against, and just kind of talk about their game a little bit and what impressed us the most about it. But
don't sell yourself short. You've also played ACAC basketball. You played against some really high level basketball as well.
Yeah, I did. Not on Mike Swampy's level though, but
yeah.
All right, let's and we don't mean any disrespect to anybody. Like if you're not on our list, it's not because we don't think you're a great basketball player, because we played against a lot of really great basketball players. So do you want to go first, or do you want me to go first?
Yeah, I'll go first.
Okay.
When I was first posed the question, I was thinking about, maybe I could just come up with a starting 5. And there's a lot of players that I've been thinking back and forth about, but for like point guards, these 2 point guards in my mind, when I grew up playing res ball, these 2 guys humbled the crap out of me. And the first guy I like to shout out is Mike Linklater. He's from Saskatchewan, and he was just a beast, and he still is a beast. Like he played for the U of S Huskies, and they ended up winning nationals, I think, in 2010, was that when they had won nationals?
Yep. Yeah.
And and so I got to play against Mike. Basically, I play against him every year. Every res tournament, he's likely going to be there. And yeah, he's just a phenomenal player. He played for the Saskatchewan Rattlers as well for the CEBL, and he was a veteran on that team. And they ended up winning the championship as well, I think.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, they did. Yeah. So Mike is definitely up there, like phenomenal player. Next for the point guards is Charlton Weaselhead. And Charlton again is another player who played U Sports, and he was playing for
University of Brandon.
University of Brandon, and they were finalists.
They were finalists.
Finalists, yeah.
2 years in a row.
2 years in a row. Oh man, that's tough. But like Charlton, like two different playing styles. Charlton was more of a definite playmaker, shooter. Played with a little bit of like fire, but so did Mike. But Mike was more of a bruiser, more of a physical player, and like both of them. When I was growing up playing basketball, they were definitely two role models of mine, and I think I owe a lot of my competitiveness to them. Like they were dogs on the court. So those are the 2 point guards that I could think of.
All right. You know what? My one spot is exact the same as yours. Like I can't argue with what you had to say. I wish I could have played against Charlton in his prime. Like,
yeah,
probably would have beat us up so bad. But like, I wish I could have saw him in person during those days. Like when he was at the University of Brandon, like 2000, 2001. Like I wish I could have like been on the court with him, just seen like, and like he's one of the best passers that I've ever seen. Like if you're on the floor and you're open even for a millisecond, the ball is coming to you, and you better be ready for it.
Yeah,
because he's not even looking at you and he sees you. Like that's how good he is. And Linklater is just, he's unreal. Like he was just always like the first time I ever saw him, I think was in 2004 or 2005. We went to a tournament in Saskatchewan I think it was at the Friendship Center. Alan Ross took us out there, and like everyone was like talking about Linklater, like Linklater's here. And he just got back from, I think you guys just got back from like a United Tribes Technical College, which is like junior college, NCAA junior college.
Yeah.
So like NJCAA. But anyway, pretty serious basketball. Yeah, I couldn't believe how good he was. Like he at that time too, he was like he was jacked. Like he was big, like you said, just really physical and like fast too, and like a next level motor on him that you can try to match, but you're not going to match. Like his determination out on the like basketball court is just like, it's one I've never really seen or experienced before. That on top of his talent is like what puts him above so many other people.
Yeah. I remember in like a lot of the tournaments, he would put up a three, and he would make a lot of threes, but every single time he'd be chasing down the offensive boarding. He would more than likely get an offensive board if he missed. He was intense, and his physicality, his athleticism was what put him in that top tier.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's almost like he knew where that ball was going. Like as soon as he left his hand, he knew where the ball was going. Yeah. Like unreal.
Honorable mentions, I would probably put Nathan Dixon. Do you remember Nathan Dixon?
Yep, I remember Nathan Dixon.
He's just an unreal shooter. Small point guard. He was no taller than 6 feet, right? Like he was.
Yeah.
But he was just like crafty. He could shoot from anywhere. Like unbelievable shooter. Yeah, he was sick too.
Honorable mention for me. No, he's not Indigenous, but he is a basketball player from Edmonton. If you heard the name Alex Steele before.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he is unreal. I never played against him in league before, but I did play against him in pickup games. So I would often like somehow find my way to these pickup games in the city where it's just all like almost all the top ballers in Edmonton. And I went to McEwen one time. I got invited out. Like everyone would invite me out. I don't know why, but I go play and like Alex Steele is there, and he's just unreal. Like he was so fast and changing speed and direction at the same time. Like you can't keep up with him. He was just too fast. And then when he played for the Bears, he's just crazy unreal. And I just couldn't believe I was like on the court with that guy and like trying to keep up with him. It was something else.
At the 2 spot, who do we have at the 2 spot? Name, you go first. I went first for the 1.
Okay, at the 2 spot, At the 2 spot, but well, yeah, I guess he's a 2 guard. Andrew Parker. He'd
Yeah.
also
Oh
be a
yeah.
3. But yeah, Andrew Parker is a friend of mine. Both went to Concordia. Played a lot of basketball together. Played in tournaments together, and the things I've seen him do in a gym, like it's just unreal. Like he works so hard to get where he is, but also just like the gifts that he had are unmatched. Like I've seen him like just dunk it on people so hard and like do like unreal things on the basketball court. Could shoot the ball, like intense basketball player, like played really good defense. One of the like probably one of the best shooting guards I've ever played with.
You want to talk about athleticism? That's pure athleticism.
Yeah, I think we mentioned it on a previous podcast, but he has a lot of highlight reels on YouTube, and there is a highlight of him jumping over someone's head in a basketball game, like an ACAC game. He cleared a guy's head and dunked on him.
Insane. Shout out Andrew. He also does like nowadays he does amazing work for the Black Teachers Association. He always gives shout out to our podcast, and he's always a huge rep for Indigenous people as well. And so he's an amazing friend and advocate for Indigenous BIPOC rights. So shout out Andrew.
Yeah.
My 2 spot, I gotta go with again, I'm split. I'm torn. Growing up, there was one guy. His name was Julian Spearchief. Do you remember Julian Spearchief?
Yes.
He was a phenomenal player growing up. He was again really athletic, could shoot. I think he dunked on us multiple times when he was playing for NAG Team Alberta. Against our young little Musco-Cheese Club team, just getting and ones on Dakota and slamming it. And then another guy that we just recently played against in Calgary, and Waylon probably would have saw him at Battle of Nations. Ronnie Battle, who's I would have to double check what tribe he's from, but he's from down south and from the States. And he's on a tourney circuit. Holy smoke, he goes everywhere. He's playing against like Trey Young and open gyms to going to BC and playing in the all-native basketball tournament. Like,
yeah,
he's literally everywhere for res tourneys. If you don't know the name Ronnie Battle, just look up his Facebook.
Yeah, and he's a winner. Like you see him like top 1 or 2 every tournament.
Always holding up championship jackets, that guy.
Yeah.
My 3 spot goes out to, I guess he's a 3. He was more of a 3 in high school. Jordan Baker. Jordan Baker, I played against him in high school. He went to Harry Ainley. And then he ended up playing for the U of A for 5 years and then played pro for the Stingers. He was a rebounding leader, and the Stingers had won.
And when you were in grade 12, or when you were in grade 11, he was in grade 12.
Yeah.
And he was in your league, and he was unstoppable. Yeah. Not to skip ahead, but Jordan is at my 4 spot. I got him at my 4 spot.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Perfect.
Yeah. For all those same reasons. At my 3 spot, I have Joel Friesen.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we were I played pickup against him, but like played against him in tournaments as well. And in I think it was in 2013, Spring Thaw and Musco-Cheese. He was on a team with like Adrian and Terrell Curtis, Clay Krellin. Like they just had a stat team. And there was me and then Dusty, the Crowfoot brothers, Noble and Ammon. Jake Hendy was our 5.
Yeah.
And then we picked up a couple guys from CUC. But yeah, Joel is so good. And I was like on the court with him, and I was like, I knew he was playing for the Bears at the time. And he's like 4th or 5th year. And he's a phenomenal player. So, he could just do everything, like offensively, defensively, great athlete. Just an unreal player. It was so awesome to play against him.
Yeah. a lot of Bears on our list. Hey, Alex Steele was a Golden Bear. Joel Friesen, Golden Bear.
Andrew
Jordan
Parker.
Baker. Andrew Parker was a Golden Bear. That's right. It just goes to show our local basketball. Hey, where we played, Edmonton.
Yeah, good basketball players in Edmonton. No question about that.
And the fourth spot. Fourth spot goes to Kelly Olynyk. Played against Kelly Olynyk in high school. He was playing at that time for Kamloops Secondary, and they had came over to play at Jasper Place in our big rep tournament that we had, and played against Kelly in the final. And I just remember like this big 6'9" guy. We knew he was going to go Div 1. We didn't know he was going to go pro or anything like that. But when we were playing against him, he was bringing out the ball, big point guard, and I just remember Stan Joe yelling at us like, "Take the ball away!" And big 6'9" guy bringing the ball back. Like we physically can't reach for the ball on this guy. And yeah, he dunked on us like a couple times in that game, and lo and behold, he had an amazing career at Gonzaga, and then got drafted.
You can say you played. You get to say you played against an NBA player.
Yeah. Now he's a Toronto Raptor. Well, I'm on my favorite team. Yeah. Another really good four-man, Ross Beckering, played in a couple native tournaments, and if you don't know who he is, he played at the UFC, I believe, and did he play in the States? I can't remember.
No, his brother did though.
His brother
Henry.
did. Oh, Henry.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So Ross played at UFC, and like just an unbelievable basketball player, huge guy, another great, amazing athlete who can throw it down like crazy.
And I mentioned my 4 spot already, Jordan.
Yeah.
And now to the 5 spot.
Mm-hmm.
I think we got the same guy at the 5 spot. Damon Bellholter.
Bellholter, yeah. Yep.
Yeah. He's so good. Was it 2016 or 2017 we played against him, and he was playing for Skidegate at the World Indigenous Basketball Challenge?
2017.
2017. Yeah. So if you don't know who Damon Bellholter is, you can do Google, but played NCAA Division I basketball. I think he played at Oral Roberts University, and then he had a short stint with Maine of the G League. So that is the Maine Celtics. So they're the Boston Celtics G League team, and he was at the World Indigenous Basketball Challenge, and he is another unreal basketball player that we couldn't stop.
I would say name, if you just held him to 10 points, maybe we could have won that game.
Yeah, I like he honestly, like, for a guy his size, I think he's like 6'10", like great handle, like really great handle. He was doing like crossovers, doing like one dribble pull-ups out there, like more like obviously great post game, but like doing one dribble pull-ups and hitting jumpers on us while we were out there.
Yeah.
These different levels to our game, but
like to be able to do these kind of things, but just to be like such a freak athlete and also be really tall is pretty incredible when you think about it. Like when he's like, we just talked about Kevin Durant at the beginning of this podcast. Like that's just what separates, NBA players from average human beings.
yeah.
They're aliens. So I don't know what else to say. I do have an alternative 5 on my list. This guy played in the ACAC, but he had transferred to the ACAC from the NCAA from Gonzaga, and he played 1 year for Nate. That is Bull Kong. So like I said, he had transfers from Gonzaga, and he played at Nate, and came to the ACAC and just lit up the league. Like he was unbelievable. And that Nate team at that time, and Nate, I think we've talked about Nate a few times. For anybody listening who doesn't know what Nate is the Northern Alberta Institute of Technology. It's a college in Edmonton, and a random to think that, how did Nate get this NCAA player to come to Edmonton, Alberta?
Yeah. They had an unreal team that year too, like recruited heavily. I think Tex was their coach.
Right. Yeah. Tex
Yep.
Phillips. Yep.
Yep.
Shout out Tex.
Well, you were at Augustana and you played
Yep.
against them. What were your impressions? Bull Kong.
So that would have been my first year. So I was getting courtside seats for a lot of the games. But my first impression was that he was really tall. He kind of lugged around, but he would almost like, he was so nonchalant when he got the ball, but he was skilled. He was able to like turn and spin and jab and do all these sort of things. Yeah, he was really good. He was sick.
And say, I don't think I got to see him play. Like I went to, like, I still watching ACAC at that time, but I never got to see him play while he was at Nate. Yeah, one guy I will mention, when you're speaking of courtside seats, when I was at Concordia, there was this guy at Lakeland College. I never played against him. I just, sitting on sidelines watching. There's a guy at Lakeland College. His name was Mike Page, and he was unreal. Played 2 years in the ACAC, transferred from, I think, some school in the States somewhere, but he's from California, and he was like 6'6", and he's just an amazing two guard. Like, I think he averaged 30 points a game his first year in the ACAC, and then second year I think it was like 27. But that first year, like, he was just unreal. Like, he just couldn't be stopped. Like, he'd shoot threes on you, he would break you down off the dribble, drive it to the basket, and he's super athlete too. Like, just, you would not suspect it, but he dunked on so many people. He was just like a really, really special player. And like, you don't hear of a whole lot of people in the ACAC averaging 30 points a game. And he would just like chill out there. Like, yeah, it was unreal.
Yeah. Speaking of guys averaging a lot of points, and I also had him on my list, Spencer Klassen. He was the ACAC league leader in points for the South, I think from 2018 to 2020. So shout out Spencer. He played for Red Deer College, and he's now a teacher, so I get to see him quite often in Central Alberta here. So a lot of name dropping today in the pod.
Yeah. We know these guys. Okay. Yeah. And Spencer played with us at the 2017 World Indigenous Basketball Challenge, and he and my counterpart here, Mike Swampy, were quite the backcourt duo.
Yeah, he was 100% more efficient than Mike Swampy. Mike Swampy puts up a lot of shots, people. Does he make them? Not necessarily. That's okay though. That's okay.
We'll have to pull up the stats one time from that tournament and see what your percentages were.
I had a Luka Doncic usage rate with a D'Angelo Russell field goal percentage, game 3 field goal percentage. Did the nerves get to me playing in the Heiko World Indigenous Challenge? I think so. I could be wrong, but
got to me too.
So it's been an awesome pod. Good discussion. Good to be back. I can't believe we're on episode 14. I did forget to say one thing at the start. We hit a pretty big milestone in our little podcasting journey. We successfully reached on YouTube 100 subscribers.
Yes,
we did it. We're sitting at 101. So if you're listening to this, just head over to YouTube. Please like and subscribe any videos that we post. We would greatly appreciate it, and we look forward to eventually earning $15 a month from YouTube.
Yes.
It'll make it all worth it in the end.
That's right. Interview time.
Yeah, let's head over to our interview. Okay, see you there. Hi, Ishnish, Magwech, Masi Cho. Thanks for listening. See you on the other side.
All right, welcome to our interview on the Warriorz Basketball podcast. We're here with a couple awesome people from the city of Winnipeg. We want to welcome our guests, Terence Ross and Lenard Monkman, who are here to talk to us about their upcoming Battle for Turtle Island tournament taking place May 17th to 20th in Winnipeg, Manitoba. How are you guys doing?
Hey guys, doing well. How about you?
Good. Happy to have you.
I'm good. I do have my kid with me, so just it'll be a little bit chaotic.
All good.
I do
All
too.
good. All good. We're all parents here, so
Yeah.
It's all good. Yeah. So if you could just each take a moment to introduce yourselves and the way that you normally do, and just let our listeners know who you are.
I'll go first. My name is Terence Ross. I'm from Winnipeg, Manitoba. Founder of Warriorz Basketball and co-founder of Battle for Turtle Island.
And my name is Lenard Monkman. I'm from Anishinaabe from Lake Manitoba First Nation. Born and raised in Winnipeg. Grew up in the North End, and I've been doing basketball programming or like events and planning and stuff like that since 2015.
Awesome. And then this Battle for Turtle Island tournament, can you guys just tell us a little bit more about it?
So Battle for Turtle Island, it's been an idea that we've had for quite some time now. I think we were just a little too young, a little too green to do it when we first thought of it. So last year we felt ready, and we just wanted to showcase all the Indigenous ballers out there and give them, their time to shine, on the University of Winnipeg Duckworth Center. All three courts. It's a top quality court, and we just wanted to give them that experience of come off the res and come to the city, and let's bring everyone together, and let's just create a special event here. And so last year was a huge success. We had teams coming from Vancouver, Ontario, Quebec, the States, and kind of everywhere in between. And that's just kind of what we had imagined when we thought about it. And just to see it come to life was just an amazing feeling.
Mm-hmm. That way.
Awesome. Yeah. Thanks for sharing that, Terence. So you kind of touched on it a little bit, but wondering like what's your inspiration for this tournament? Like I know you travel around quite often to play basketball. You play all over the country. You see a number of different tournaments. Like what's your inspiration for this particular tournament, and kind of where do you see it going?
Yeah, and so getting to go and take part in all these tournaments, I see how it brings the community together, especially that local community of people, and just everyone from wherever they come from coming there and get to experience that place. It's just like basketball family. Like it's just a special feeling when you go to all these tournaments, especially when you're taking part for the first time. That's usually my favorite. Going somewhere new and just meeting these new people and seeing this new place and converting the people. Usually they're unsure of you when you first get there. Usually you're the away guy, so everyone's not really sure of you. And by the end of it, they get to kind of see that you're just there to take part and enjoy the game just like everyone else. So
enjoying the gaming and definitely like growing the game. I think you guys are doing with this large event, right? It's happening, and you guys were like you said, there's a lot of kids getting involved, and the basketball is definitely growing in your guys' province. And I think even prior to us recording, Lenard, you kind of talked a little bit about the growth of basketball in your province, and can you just touch upon that a little bit more?
Yeah, just so from my perspective, like we've been trying to grow the game since 2015, right? And that was the whole idea of like giving basketballs away to people in the inner city, and then really trying to build infrastructure within the place, like within the province, right? So we're connected to John Ross, Mirasti Moose, who's building the game up in Thompson and surrounding areas, as a high-level coach, somebody that's doing camps, workshops, coaching, and then like doing the work of like getting funding from organizations to help fund some of these particular projects, right? Like it's nice to have volunteers for these types of things, but at the same time, like you do need to try and get people paid so that, you know, they're being compensated for the time that's being put in. And so for this particular tournament, you know, BC, the all native tournament, those types of tournaments, that they have a basketball history and culture that's been existing for, you know, 75 years, 75 plus years. With us here, last year was the first, you know, really big tournament that we've had that's been hosted by us for us, right? And so it's not being put on by anyone else. We have the ability to control what's happening, control how the tournament is going to look, and not be, you know, like we can just basically decide what we want to do with it. And so I think there's a beauty in that. And, you know, I think one thing that we'd really like to try and do is like get more Manitoba teams and really like push that so that it's building locally. Last year we had tons and tons of teams that came in from out of the province, and that was a cool thing for me to experience, right? So, you know, hopefully this is something that's going to be able to grow over the next few years. We had a partnership. We had an official partnership this year with Manitowabi. It happens on the powwow weekend. It's like one of the biggest powwows in Canada. And so it's like, I always tell people all the time that, you know, the May long weekend is the best time to come to Winnipeg. It's beautiful. It's green. There's lots of Indians everywhere. You know, people are shining. There's going to be lots of events outside of the basketball weekend to do. And so that's like the big draw is like, let's bring as many people together. Let's build the game. And then hopefully the infrastructure is there to expand on that when the tournament's not happening and through other times throughout the year.
Yeah, that's huge. And so this is your guys' the second annual. What was the feedback like for previous years?
It was positive feedback. Yeah, everyone really they were surprised how the turnout actually came. You know, a lot of teams came. We were surprised too, but you know, being right in the center of you know, Turtle Island, it just made sense for us to host this tournament and to bring everyone here. But yeah, no, the feedback has been good. There has, you know, because it's double knockout format, there was some teams that were a little upset about having to play, you know, back-to-back games, stuff like that. But that's normal, you know.
That's part of Res Ball.
Yeah, that's how it goes. Yeah, if you lose, you got to play again. That's just how it goes. So don't lose.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
You know, we've done that to ourselves on the road too. You lose your first game, and then you got, you know, 7 games ahead of you over 2 days, and it's like,
yeah,
you get 4 games in one day. You treat every game like a quarter. Like, oh, that's one quarter.
Yeah.
Second game, that's second. We're at halftime now, guys. You know, we got 2 more games. So
one thing that was crazy about last year is like, you never really know what it's going to look like until it happens. And so we were all like scrambling around trying to get things last minute. Like, I think we just got the trophies and the merch like on because it's the May long weekend. We got it on like the Thursday or Friday, and we called that guy. He's like, "I'm leaving for the weekend. Come down right now."
Oh wow!
And then we got it, but then 4:00 hit, and it was like hundreds of people just loaded into the gym at the same time. It was like, oh, it's perfect.
Wow.
Yeah, it was pretty cool experience last year, especially for the opener. And then I was going to say another thing that we were thinking of this year is like for potentially when there's less games to be played is to like bring down the seats on one side of the arena so that, you know, it's a University of Winnipeg basketball court. So, you know, half of that thing could be filled up with seats for people to just hang out and watch it. So I think that's something that we'll try to implement if we got enough time and space this year on the second half of the tournament.
That's so awesome.
Yeah, definitely. And, you know, organizing tournaments, it's one of those little things that you don't often think about in kind of last minute things like picking up the trophies. Like those are jobs that need to be done. And then you're walking into the gym and everyone's there already. Just like little stressors that happen throughout. But I'm glad to hear it worked out. I think this is a tournament that I would love to go to. Lenard, you said there's Indians everywhere. That's where I want to be. So something that we talked about on the previous episode, and really like why I asked this question is that I really just want people to listen and understand about like the work that goes into the tournament, but like as well appreciate the other side of it when you're playing at the same time. And Terence, you touched on double knockout tournaments and having to play multiple games back to back to back. How did talk about a little bit about like how that wears on you as a tournament organizer when you're trying to make sure all these things happen, like picking up trophies, making sure games are happening on time, you're cleaning up, you're opening the gym, you're closing the gym. Like, how does all that work impact you while you're out there on the floor?
Oh man, it's exhausting, but you just know it's got to get done. You'll be okay at the end of it. You'll be a little tired, but yeah, you just got to get through it. But it's definitely, there's always something on the back of your mind. Like when you're in the game, well, when I'm in the game, I don't really think of anything. But then when a timeout comes or we're sitting on the bench and I'm looking around, like, is everything, in order? Is everything on time? So yeah, it's definitely exhausting. But this year we plan to have a tournament manager, someone that could take those burdens off our mind and just be there and to just make sure that everything's running smoothly and we can just play. We'll do all the work leading up to it, but when the tournament is there, it's we hand the keys over and say, hey, it's on you. We're just gonna play.
So when people come up and ask you about games, you're like, hey, talk to my tournament manager. He's over there.
yeah, this guy right here.
Yeah. That's funny. Like it's gotta take such a mental toll to try and run a tournament and then also play. Like we were talking with Waylon Big Plume, who ended up running the tournament in Calgary. And he was saying like he didn't even warm up for most of his games because he was checking scorekeepers, make sure scorekeepers were there and referees were there. And then we talked with even Mike Tanton. Mike Tanton wasn't playing in that tournament in Red Pheasant, but he was out there reffing. He was out there cleaning the floor. He was even commentating. Like as a tournament organizer, you're kind of all over the place. So definitely having a manager is key for sure.
It is nice to play though. You can kind of, forget about all that for 45 minutes or so and just enjoy it. And then you snap out of it and then it's like, okay, what's going on over here? What's going on over there? And yeah, no, it's fun though. I enjoy it. It's a really good time. It's a lot, but I enjoy it.
So how many more registrations do you guys need? Is there a need for more volunteers for your tournament?
As far as registrations, we have a lot of interest. There's been teams that are putting in their deposits. We would love to see the girls' youth division fill up. That last year, that was the one division where we were lacking a bit. So we had 2 teams come, and so they kind of just played a series. But we would love to see more young women come out and take part in the game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and definitely like the girls division, the women's division, the boys division, like I think anywhere where we can try to grow those spots, right? Like the native hockey tournaments, they go and they fill up just like that, right? Like there's so much interest, but then there's young people that are in First Nations communities all across, I'm assuming Western Canada, that are picking up basketball like at a rate that's outgrowing hockey, right? And so if we capitalize on it, if we build the infrastructure for it, like we'll be in a good spot 5-10 years from now, right? And part of it is just continuing to grow the youth game, and so that's an exciting part. So hopefully, if you are connected to like youth teams out there, bring them down to Winnipeg, come check it out, come and hang out for the weekend, and then if you end up losing or if it's a tough tournament for you, go back and practice for the next year and come back again next year, right? And so that's kind of what we're trying to do, is really encourage, like, see this as like one of the more competitive tournaments that brings out like the best basketball players in Western Canada and other parts of the States, right? So that's I think that's the vision. So
Top way. I think that's key. Like I think that's awesome that you guys have a youth division for 17 under girls and boys. Like that's huge because we're gonna get old. We were talking about it earlier. We're getting washed up here. We need people eventually replace us.
We're gonna need a master's division.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. And I just want to like send my appreciation to the whole Warriorz Basketball Club for all the work that you're doing in Winnipeg and in the province of Manitoba. I know you're doing some pretty big things out there. You have the Warriors Wednesdays going on. You got some some little clinics going on for youth every week. And I think that's really important. Like you're talking about the growth of the game, and we need that kind of people giving back in the community to get kids exposure to the game and to come from like high level players and people involved in the game of basketball is really key for a lot of our youth in our community. So thank you so much for that. We're gonna wrap up the interview pretty quick here, but I'm just wondering, like, if people are looking for more information, they want to know more about the tournament, who should they contact? Where should they go? Are you guys on social media?
Yeah, so we do have a Warriorz Basketball Facebook page. So it's just Warriorz, WARRIORZ, not an S. So that's it'll make it easier to find. We also have Instagram. It's the same thing, Warriorz Basketball. And a lot of the information is on there. We will be creating a event page. I believe right now there's a group. Lenard?
Yeah, there's a Facebook group that I think we're trying to just experiment with right now, and so people can join that group and see what it's like. It's been difficult to try to like build social media profiles over the last couple of years, but definitely the Warriors Facebook page and Instagram page would be the main sources of information for anything to do with this particular tournament.
Awesome. We hope to see you guys though. Like we would love for an Edmonton team to come out. I think that was one of the only places that didn't come. And there was some players from Saskatchewan, but there wasn't there was a Regina team. There was no Saskatoon team or Edmonton team. So we would love to see those two cities come out. And
absolutely,
you guys are great players, so come shake it up a bit.
Yeah, that'd be fun. And like Name said, there's a lot of Indians around, so it would definitely be a fun trip.
And there might be there might be a party there, right, Terence?
Yeah. Well, last year actually we did have like a tournament party where we rented out a space and all the 18 plus come out and just get together and mingle, and it was a really good time last year. This year I think we may not do that. Someone else is hosting something like that. Someone that's running the hockey tournament is doing that, so maybe we'll just join them and let them worry about all the planning and stuff. Exactly. Yeah. We'll have fun this time.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, so you heard it. We need more teams in this tournament from further west. Need some teams from Edmonton, Saskatchewan, more teams from Saskatchewan as well. So if you're out there and you're listening to this, get in contact with either Terence or Lenard. You can do that via Facebook, Instagram. And just give them a follow in general because they're doing a lot of amazing things out there. And like I said, it's much appreciated. And I just want to thank you both for being here. And I appreciate your time. Swampy, you got anything to add?
No, thank you both. Hi, Ishnish Magwech. And appreciate you two for all the wonderful, amazing work you guys have been doing in your province for sure.
Yep. Thanks for doing the podcast. I told Terence, I was like, you know what, this is the best place to promote it, right? You guys got a reach for Western Canada, and like we just need to support like Indigenous basketball, Indigenous media, just anything that I think connects it works. It works for us. So looking forward to the tournament. Hopefully you guys can come visit.
This podcast is a lot of fun. You guys put out a lot of good content. I enjoy it, and just keep doing what you guys are doing. It's really needed to put the spotlight on different Indigenous athletes out there. Just like I said, that's the whole point of our tournament, is we want to put the spotlight on them. This is your weekend. This is for us. You guys are kind of doing the same thing with these podcasts, and it's I really appreciate the work you guys are doing. So, and thank you for having us. I really appreciate it.
Sure, it's an honor to having us.
Exe.